Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at how to solve proportions. If you remember from last year, a proportion is an equation that states that two ratios are equal. So it's basically an equation where you have a fraction on one side and then on the other side you also have a fraction. To determine whether a pair of ratios forms a proportion, we can check their cross products. And what that means is if I have the two ratios here, A over B and then C over D, if those ratios are equal, then the product of A times D has to be equal to the product of B times C. So that's how we check to see whether two ratios are equal. So we're going to practice that here in 1 through 4. We're going to determine whether each of these pairs of ratios we're given forms a proportion. And so in order to do that, we need to take the product of each of the diagonals. So 5 times 24. We need to see if that's equal to the product of the other diagonal, which in this case is 6 times 20. Okay, so if you take 5 times 24, you get 120, and then if you take 6 times 20, you also get 120. So because the product of those diagonals are equal, then the answer is yes, those ratios are proportional. Okay, number 2, 2/3 and 8/15. So take the product of 2 times 15 and see if that's equal to the product of 3 times 8. Well, 2 times 15 is 30, and 3 times 8 is 24. So those cross products are not equal to each other, and therefore those ratios are not proportional. Okay, number 3, 7 times 8 is one cross product, and 1.6 times 35 is the other one. So we know 7 times 8 is 56. And then I'll get my calculator for the other part. So 1.6 times 35, that's also equal to 56. So those are equal to each other, and therefore that means those ratios are proportional. Okay, 0.5 over 18 and 1.5 over 40. So we'll do 0.5 times 40. And then we'll do 18 times 1.5. 0.5 is just a half, so this is asking you to take half of 40, which is 20. And then 18 times 1.5, that's going to give you 27. So 20 is obviously not equal to 27, and therefore those are not proportional. So that's how to check to see whether two ratios are proportional. Now, in the following examples, you're going to be given a proportion and just asked to find the missing variable, so solve for the proportion. So we also do this using cross products. So for number 5, we'll start with 16 times 3. Okay, so 16 times 3. And we set that equal to the other cross product, which is 12 times x. Or 12x. Okay, so 16 times 3 is 48. So we have 48 equals 12x. And so now we're going to solve this equation for x to find what x needs to be to make this a true proportion. So that just means we're dividing both sides by 12. And x comes out to be 4. Okay, number 6. So we're going to take the cross product of 26 times 6, and we're going to set that equal to the cross product of 5 times w. Okay, 26 times 6 is 156. So we have 156 equal to 5w, and then we'll divide both sides by 5. And 156 divided by 5 comes out to be 31.2. So W equals 31.2. Number 7, 20 times P is our first cross product. And our second one is 8 times 32.5. So we have 20p equals 8 times 32.5 gives us 260. And then we'll divide both sides by 20. P comes out to be 13. Okay, number 8. 4x times 15. That's our first cross product. And then our second one is 5 times 84. So we can do some simplifying on both sides. 4x times 15, well, that's going to be 60x. And then on the other side, 5 times 84, that is 420. So we get 60x equals 420. Divide both sides by 60, and x comes out to be 7. Okay, the last two, we have 2 times 12 is one cross product. And for the other one, be careful, you have 3 times the quantity x minus 2. So when we do this cross product here, we need to make sure we use parentheses around x minus 2. And that is going to remind us that we need to do some distributing on that right side. So left side, 2 times 12 is 24. And then on the right side, we need to distribute 3 to x minus 2, and we get 3x minus 6. So now we can add 6 to both sides. And we get 3x is equal to 30. And then divide both sides by 3. X comes out to be 10. Okay, number 10. So again, make sure you include parentheses around 5c minus 2 and also c plus 10. So our first cross product is going to be 4 times the quantity 5c minus 2. And we'll set that equal to our second one, which is 7 times the quantity c plus 10. So we'll need to distribute on both sides. On the left side, we get 20c minus 8. On the right side, we get 7c plus 70. We have a variable on both sides, so we can subtract 7c from both sides first. That gives us 13c. So 13c minus 8 equals 70. Then we can add 8 to both sides. We'll get 13c equals 78 when we do that. And then lastly, divide both sides by 13, and c comes out to be 6. Okay, if you had any questions over this video, make sure you have those written down for the next time. Until then, have a nice day. You're all wonderful people. Take care.